January 2026. For decades, students of the Sleeping Prophet have looked toward this specific year with a mixture of awe and trepidation. Edgar Cayce, the man who predicted the fall of the stock market, the rise of world wars, and the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls, didn't just see the past, he saw a new era for humanity. But he warned that the birth of this era would not be quiet. Today we explore the converging prophecies that point to 2026 as the year the Hall of Records may finally be revealed, and why your soul chose to be here right now. In March of this year, a rare celestial event occurs that Cayce's readings often hinted at: an alignment of the Moon, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, and the Sun. The last time a shift of this magnitude occurred was 1989, the year the Berlin Wall fell and the world's power structure shifted overnight. But Cayce's readings go deeper. He spoke of cycles of change that govern the rise and fall of civilizations. According to reading 3976-15, Cayce noted that these shifts are not just political, they are geological and spiritual. He spoke of the shifting of the poles, a process many geologists today are watching with growing concern as our magnetic north moves faster than ever before. But what does this mean for you specifically? Cayce was clear. The destiny of the soul is in the hands of the individual. He didn't see 2026 as an apocalypse in the way Hollywood does. To Cayce, an apocalypse is simply an unveiling. He predicted that in this era, the vibration of the earth would rise, making it impossible for old, hateful systems to survive. We are seeing the internal strife he predicted for America, the breaking down of old walls so that a new age of enlightenment can begin. He called it the Sixth Age, the transition into the Aquarian consciousness of brotherly love. As we move further into 2026, the question isn't whether the world will change, it's whether you are ready to change with it. Cayce reminded us that spirit is the life, mind is the builder, and the physical is the result. If you feel a pulling in your soul, a sense that something big is on the horizon, you are feeling the frequency he predicted nearly a century ago. Interestingly, Cayce taught that this spiritual evolution isn't just for humans. Even the creatures we love most are part of this grand design. In our next video, we're going to dive into one of Cayce's most touching mysteries, the group souls of animals, and the incredible proof that your pets are evolving and reincarnating right alongside you. Subscribe to Cayce Reflections to make sure you don't miss that journey. I'm your narrator, and the records are opening. For decades, students of the Sleeping Prophet have looked toward this specific year with a mixture of awe and trepidation. Edgar Cayce, the man who predicted the fall of the stock market, the rise of world wars, and the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls, didn't just see the past, he saw a new era for humanity. But he warned that the birth of this era would not be quiet. Why 2026? It begins with a rare celestial event on the spring equinox. Imagine the morning sky, the Moon, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, and the Sun all rising together in a perfect rare alignment. Cayce often spoke of how the stars aren't just lights in the sky, but markers of a universal consciousness. The last time we saw an alignment of this power was 1989, the year the Berlin Wall fell and the world's power structure shifted overnight. But 2026 is different. This isn't just a political shift. It is the physical manifestation of spiritual ideals. It is the official dawning of the age of Aquarius, the transition from the age of believing to the age of knowing. One of Cayce's most famous 2026 linked prophecies involves the right paw of the Sphinx. He claimed that refugees from the lost continent of Atlantis, led by a priest named Ra-Ta, buried their entire history in a secret chamber called the Hall of Records. This wasn't just paper and ink. Cayce described 32 stone tablets and instruments of a highly advanced civilization, records of a time when humans used giant fire crystals to harness energy from the sun and stars. He stated these records would be found when the time is fulfilled. For years, ground-penetrating radar has shown anomalies under that very paw. Is 2026 the year the slime of ages is pulled back? Casey suggested that this discovery wouldn't just be an archaeological find. It would be a frequency shift. He said that once these records are opened, humanity would have to reckon with its true origin, that we are not the first advanced civilization to walk this earth, and that we have destroyed ourselves before through the misuse of technology. 2026 is our chance to choose a different path. But the awakening isn't just happening in Egypt. It's happening in the very core of our planet. Casey spoke of cycles of change that govern the rise and fall of civilizations. In reading 3976-15, he noted that these shifts are geological. He specifically spoke of the shifting of the poles, a process many geologists today are watching with growing concern as our magnetic north moves faster than ever before. Casey explained that the Earth is a living organism. Just as we have chakras and energy centers, the Earth has a vibration. When humanity becomes out of sync with spiritual laws, focusing only on material greed and strife, the Earth itself reacts to find balance. He predicted that during this 2026 window, we would see the internal strife of nations and the breaking down of old hateful systems. This is the apocalypse, not a Hollywood disaster, but a literal unveiling of the truth. The vibration of the Earth is rising, and everything that cannot match that higher frequency of brotherly love must eventually fall away. So what does this mean for you? Casey was clear. The destiny of the soul is in the hands of the individual. You weren't born in this era by accident. According to the readings, souls choose their time of birth based on the growth they need. You chose to be here in 2026 because your soul was ready for the sixth age, the transition into a higher state of consciousness. Casey reminded us that spirit is the life, mind is the builder, and the physical is the result. If you feel a pulling in your soul, a sense that something big is on the horizon, you are feeling the frequency he predicted nearly a century ago. It is a call to move from me to we. And interestingly, Edgar Casey taught that this evolution isn't just for us. Even the creatures we love most, our pets, are part of this grand design. They are group souls evolving right alongside us, teaching us the very unconditional love required for this new era. In our next video, we're going to dive into the incredible proof that your pets are reincarnating to be with you during this great awakening. Subscribe to Casey Reflections to make sure you don't miss that journey. I'm your narrator, and the records are opening.